Yeah, what's going on, guys? Seth Spartan here. Guys, today we're going to be talking about an extremely important but also interesting topic. Today we're going to be talking about black market steroids, the big problem or problems with black market steroids. So, guys, you're going to want to give this video a watch to the end. We're going to hit this hard, hit this home fast, and get out of here. And hopefully, I assume, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or a veteran in the world of bodybuilding, fitness, and athletics, you'll learn something. So, guys, I'm Seth Spartan. Here we go. So, black market steroids, what is the big problem or problems when discussing black market steroids? Let's start with the biggest problems first and work our way down. I'm not going to spend tons of time on each point just because I want to give you guys shorter videos as I have a tendency to run over. So let's go. Problem number one is none other than heavy metals and toxins. Whether you're getting injectable anabolic steroids or oral anabolic steroids, this can be a problem with both. This has to do with the manufacturing process and things not being produced anywhere near par in regards to human consumption. Just because why? It's cheaper, they can get away with it, and they don't have to oftentimes make a final pass to remove heavy metals and toxins like they would need to in a pharmaceutical setting. So problem number one with both, oral steroids, injectable steroids, is none other than heavy metals and toxins. Things like lead, nickel, arsenic, the list goes on. Cadmium, tons of bad, either heavy metals or you can have also toxins. There are plenty of toxins. You can just, that can be easily found in poorly produced medication and also in the world of black market steroids, things that you would never find otherwise. And you guys can type in a list of known toxins in medication. The list is almost endless. Moving on, and guys, one last thing with the heavy metals and toxins, whether it's oral or injectable anabolic steroids, again, this is due to a cheapened process, a cheapened manufacturing process, stuff coming out of China or any below par manufacturing. These things are not manufactured for pharmaceutical consumption. They cheapen the process. They don't do a final pass or any pass to remove heavy metals or toxins from these compounds or, again, from being poorly made. It's a byproduct. One thing I got to talk about real quick here, super important. With regards in the United States, if you live in America, and I've got people watching my channel from all over the world, India, Nepal, Britain, US, wherever. Guys, if you live in America, if you live in the United States, one thing we have a problem with, a huge problem with in the US is melatonin. In the United States, for some reason, the US government has labeled melatonin as a dietary supplement. It's not a hormone. You don't need a prescription. I don't know why they did this, but anyways, melatonin, again, it's a hormone secreted by your pineal gland in your brain. It's a dietary supplement in the US. You can buy it at Walgreens or any store, right? The big issue in the United States is that since it's sold as a dietary supplement, companies want to make as much profit as possible. They want to just rake in the dough, and they get really low grade bad melatonin that's had a cheap manufacturing process made. So if in the United States, if you go to a store, you buy melatonin, it might be good quality or it might be really bad quality. And a lot of melatonin in the US is really, really bad quality. Why? Cheap in manufacturing process, and it can have heavy metals, and also a lot of it contains serotonin, which is super bad for you depending on the dosages. And serotonin can actually make you have anxiety, restless leg syndrome, and stuff like this. So if you live in the US and you want to get good melatonin, make sure you're getting nature-made melatonin. If you live outside the US, obviously you get melatonin through a prescription from your doctor. But this is one problem that is common even in the US because of the government, how the government's regulated melatonin. Companies want to save a couple bucks, so they get the cheapest melatonin. Not only can it have heavy metals in it, but it also is not even always melatonin. It can be serotonin, which actually will keep you awake. Go figure. Moving on. All right. Point number two is not sterile and bacteria. You guys have seen the videos. You guys have seen this talked about. There's plenty of pro bodybuilders, amateur bodybuilders, athletes that have gotten bad infections from using most of the time bad injectable steroids. Okay, so This stuff is it's not ever made in a pharmaceutical grade environment, because it would have to be licensed to do so. So, you can get injectable anabolic steroids made, in a very dirty environment or subpar environment. Some places, depending on where you live in the world, some places are going to be better than others. But a big, major problem, major concern is not sterile, and it's going to have bacteria. The stuff could be outdated too. Could have been made years and years ago, have a higher bacteria count, and all that. Just huge issue. Okay, if you put it inside your body, and if somebody's making this in their bedroom or who knows where, their bathtub, I don't, doesn't matter. If it's not sterile, it's not sterile, and that's the reason there's such strict guidelines for the manufacturing of injectable medicines in the U.S. and almost every country, as far as I can think of. Moving on. Fake or low dosage, number 3. This is not so much harmful to your health, but this is something to keep in mind, because a lot of whether it's oral anabolic steroids or injectable anabolic steroids can be faked or have a low dosage. If we talk about things like Anavar, especially or steroids that are more costly to manufacture, it can be straight out fake or at a much lower dosage. You get testosterone, it could be way lower. People want to save money, they want to save a buck. So this isn't so much a health problem, or well, it could be if you think you're taking so much of another compound, you're using an AI, and then one batch is on, one batch is way less, and then your estrogen crash is too low, you have health problems because of that. And also this can give you mental anxiety, because you never know what you're using is legitimate and how legitimate. Moving on to point 4, and we're out of here. Switched compound. This is extremely common with drugs like Anavar. Anavar is a more expensive compound. It's harder to manufacture, produce. Things like Anavar, in the black market world, a lot of the time people are getting Anavar. Again, whether you live in, I have viewers watching from Nepal, India, US, Britain, no matter where you are in the world, if you're getting black market stuff, a lot of the time, if you're getting Anavar or other compounds, it's something cheaper like Winstrol. Forgetting the low dosage or just outright fake. It could be people like to switch compounds. You're using, EQ, it's really testosterone, stuff like that. Everybody wants to be cheap and save as much money as possible. And again, even if this stuff is legal in your country, wherever you live, it's hurting you regardless. So guys, these are 4 big reasons, big problems, serious problems with black market steroids. Again, doesn't matter if it's injectable or oral. These are big problems in regards to black market steroids. And guys, hopefully I've talked some sense into you. I've put some sense in your head. Hopefully by looking at these points, you'll pay a little bit, especially if you live in the US or another country where you have good healthcare. You can go to all these different clinics. If you live in the US, hopefully I've talked some sense into you. And if you live outside of the US, hopefully I've still talked some sense into you. And, if you're in the US, go to a good hormone replacement clinic, testosterone replacement clinic. A lot of clinics will give you testosterone or Anavar, Winstrol, other things, as long as you have low T as part of your hormone replacement. And, if you want to go to my clinic, Prometheus HRT, go ahead, use my code Spartan, save some cash. If you don't, go somewhere else. There's a lot of good clinics in the US. Okay, we have good healthcare here for the most part. If you live in another country and if it's legal, then you do what you want. But I would recommend you guys, you can still get pharmaceutical grade anabolic steroids. Just if you look hard enough, make sure you're getting a pharmaceutical source if it's legal in your country. Otherwise, through your doctor, whatever. I don't know. Do everything safe, legally, under doctor supervision, regardless which country you live in. And guys, these are just 4 big problems and big headaches when it comes to black market steroids. And we are out of here.